dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about 115 Day coming up from Treyarch, what's going on with Vanguard Zombies, and even more DLC. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And as a reminder, Sledgehammer did confirm today that they do plan on dealing with how there is just too much fire over in Vanguard multiplayer, right? They announced that they're going to be nerfing the incineraries, the fortified buff, dauntless changes, and even more. But what's ironic about this is that Vanguard Zombies actually need some more fire, right? Haha, funny. Where's the fire at for zombies? Let's get through that here today. And honestly, I'm curious how all of this is going to end, right? Like I pointed out in the podcast, I'm wondering what Vanguard will look like a year from now, right? After 6 full seasons of DLC, especially for zombies, right? How will the mode look? How many maps will there be? And how many modes are going to be added, right? Definitely a big question that I think everybody is asking right now. But as a reminder as well, this Monday should be the official reveal of the roadmap for Season 1 Reloaded, along with a full blog post detailing us on what's going to be added to each of our game modes, and we'll possibly get a trailer for it. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one, considering we didn't get a gameplay trailer for Season 1, and yeah, we did get a launch trailer for Caldera for Warzone Pacific, but we didn't get a trailer for anything about MP or zombies, considering there wasn't much added to either of those modes anyway. Warzone definitely overshadowed everything about Season 1 for Call of Duty Vanguard, and I mentioned before, I just wasn't a fan of the careless approach with how Season 1 DLC released, right? The multiplayer maps were playable like a day and a half early in private matches, even if you were online, as well as the weapons, equipment, and then zombies was even more of a tragedy, where the Covenants, the new objective, all of that just went live publicly a good, I think, 2 days before the start of the season. So by the time Season 1 officially dropped, there wasn't any need to go ahead and stream or to set up an event with the community. It was kind of like, alright, the season's technically already out, all we're really waiting for is access to Caldera because everything else had released without any mention at all, and it was just a very careless approach, as I want to call it, right? Nothing in comparison to the feeling we all had together, you know, streaming the launch of a new Cold War season, or, you know, even DLC map packs in the past. Now, the new patch did pop up in the database for Vanguard last week, and like we always see with PlayStation Size, whenever an update pops up, it usually means it's about a week away from being able to be preloaded on your PlayStations, or even your Xboxes and PCs, so he mentioned it's not that big of an update, so we could all assume we'll be preloading this over this Monday, and then the content should become playable on Tuesday, but I wouldn't expect much from this mid-season update, aside from a much-needed patch to really improve stability across all of our game modes. Now, I wanted to do a dedicated zombies video tonight about the tweet that we got from Treyarch yesterday, where they remind us that 115 Day is just around the corner, and I can't believe we're saying that, but yeah, we're about a little over a week from 115 Day, which is crazy, January the 15th. They mentioned a blog post is going to be going up earlier than usual, and that's probably because 115 Day is on a Saturday, and people likely won't be at the offices on that day, so I was expecting us to get a blog post about 115 Day maybe on Friday the 14th, but we'll probably just get everything bundled together this week with the launch of the mid-season update. So as a bit of a recap for what's going on with 115 Day in recent years, here's what happened. So the Black Ops 4 cycle, for example, on 115 Day, we actually got a Q&A session from Jason Lundell himself, back when he still worked at Treyarch, where he answered as many questions as he possibly could that he saw over in the Treyarch replies, and they posted various videos throughout the day of him responding to such questions, and it's a bit unfortunate because that day he did confirm a couple of things that actually never released in Black Ops 4, whether it was faction callings, whether it was Newton's cookbook, or other surprises that didn't really lead out to anything. So that was probably right before he left Treyarch, and when he still had things on deck or things in mind that they probably were going to release, but after he left, they probably threw all of that into the garbage. So that's likely what happened with that. But then a year later, right, this is during Modern Warfare season, Treyarch still came out with a bit of a surprise on 115 Day during 2020, where they confirmed that there was an unsolved Easter egg over in Tag Der Toten, ended up being the Don't Freeze Easter egg, first solved by Absolem. I have a video about that linked down below, and it was cool that they teased, hey guys, you guys missed something in the final DLC map for Black Ops 4, and it's good when they don't ever give us too many hints about unsolved Easter eggs. Maybe they'll give us a bit of a nudge in the right direction, but never anything too direct. However, since the player base was probably dwindling down for Black Ops 4, and the fact that nobody was hunting, they ended up giving us the audio cue for that side Easter egg being activated, and they posted it over on Twitter. So that was cool that they wanted us to still be involved in the zombies community, even when zombies was out of season during Modern Warfare cycle. But during 2021, during Cold War's prime, we ended up getting a pretty special announcement on 115 Day for that cycle, and that was our first official teaser for Firebase Z, the first DLC zombies map over in Black Ops Cold War. So I think time and time again, they've given us something spicy for hardcore zombies fans, and I expect the same to happen this year. But in terms of this year's 115 Day, I wouldn't expect anything much more than a blog post, but maybe a surprise about something spicy that we're all waiting for. So can definitely expect them to go in detail about the future direction of Vanguard Zombies, what they plan on adding to it in the future, maybe what's going on with the remaining content for Anfang, whether it's the main quest, possible wonder weapons, side Easter eggs, some stability fixes, or other things that we have no idea about right now that they still want to add to Anfang. But it's like I mentioned before, I don't really see many maps being added to Vanguard Zombies this year, right? If anything, I wouldn't be shocked if they finish adding everything to Anfang and then they actually move on to an Outbreak Caldera type experience, which to me would probably be a better bet than adding in some half-assed round-based maps or other maps that are like Anfang. I don't know if anything could even work at this point. And the thing is too, I mentioned this so many other times, when it comes to Anfang as an idea, as an experiment, I guess you can call it, I don't have an issue with what they were going for with this round-based Outbreak hybrid. If anything, it would have been cool if Vanguard Zombies offered Anfang fully completed at launch, maybe one round-based map alongside that, maybe Outbreak Caldera later in the season, and then maybe one or two more maps after that, which would have brought us to maybe 4 to 5 different experiences total. That would have been ideal, but taking a look at how much time Treyarch had to really make this, they don't have enough time to even add in a ray gun or a Pack-a-Punch camo, so you just know there were a lot of issues preventing them from executing a full vision behind this. You know, it doesn't matter if it's round-based or Outbreak, if not enough time is given to them, then the vision's gonna fall short. And you can disagree with me, but I wholeheartedly believe that if Anfang got the proper development time and they really got to execute every single thing they wanted to do with this experience, it would have been great. And I think it would have resonated so well with both fans of round-based and Outbreak, and it also would have got people excited for the future where they could have done even more experiments like this in even their next Call of Duty for 2023 and even beyond that. But something else I really wanted to address is that people probably would have treated zombies the same way this year if Sledgehammer would have made it, if Infinity Ward would have made it. I think if it was a different type of experience, whether it was round-based, whether it was full-on Outbreak from any other dev studio, I think the fact this isn't a Treyarch year, where this isn't a Treyarch Call of Duty, people likely would have shit on it anyway. We saw that so many times in the past with World War II zombies, Infinite Warfare, especially Exo Zombies, and those games all had round-based, full main quest, wonder weapons, and that wasn't enough for a lot of people, so I don't really think the community really knows what it wants. And overall, this year probably would have went down the exact same way anyway, where people out there start leaving the community, stop posting content, right? CPMs go down during, this time of the year. People start taking breaks anyway. The same thing would have happened, right? And we even saw this a bit during Cold War cycle, where Treyarch was back, bringing the mode back to its roots, and people were still complaining. So at this point, I don't really see much being added that can really turn too many things around for this game in terms of the community, but I think a lot of people consider this a filler year regardless. If Treyarch's making the mode, if Infinity Ward did, if Sledgehammer did, once all is said and done with this game, Treyarch will 100% be hard at work full-time on 2023. And they have to worry about competitive multiplayer for Vanguard and zombies for the remainder of this DLC season, but after that, I'm sure they're going to go hard on a new version or a new iteration of zombies that hopefully pleases people in the next couple of years. And if it doesn't please people in a couple of years, then I think it's time for people to actually move on, since they've clearly outgrown what zombies even stands for. Now, everybody knows that more gods and field upgrades, or artifacts I should say, are on the way for Vanguard Zombies. The storyline and the intel has hinted at that quite a bit, and I think Treyarch themselves in a GameSpot interview did confirm that more field upgrades are going to be added, whether they're some returning ones from Black Ops Cold War, whether they're brand new ones entirely. Recent intel does suggest that a green god will make an appearance at some point in the story, maybe during Season 1 Reloaded, Season 2, whenever a new field upgrade does get added. But what upgrade could that be, right? Something new? Could it be something from Cold War like Frenzy Guard, Toxic Growth, Lightning Links, maybe even Healing Aura, a field upgrade that I forgot actually isn't in Vanguard and obviously is extremely green over in Cold War, so this could be the one. There could even be content that is planned and even done right now for Season 2 of Vanguard that they say, you know what, let's just drop it a bit early in Season 1 Reloaded, kind of similar to last year with Black Ops Cold War, where Firebase was 100% planned to release during Season 2, unless that was just something that they teased us with and wanted to surprise us a bit early. I think the map was done ahead of schedule, and they said, you know what, might as well just drop it during Season 1 Reloaded, because we're going to drop Outbreak a couple of weeks after that anyway, so might as well separate the releases a little bit. Maybe that's what happened, and we can see the same thing this year, where some extra content does go live as soon as this upcoming Tuesday. Now, the Tome of Rituals feature is going to be added this Tuesday, which is great, allowing you to enhance and upgrade the artifacts that you can spawn in with, whether it's Ether Shroud, whether it's Energy Mine, Frost Blast, Ring of Fire, and that's great, because right now, the artifacts aren't very good. Definitely nowhere near as powerful as the versions we had in Black Ops Cold War, and I guess that makes sense thematically, story-wise, but hopefully this Tome of Rituals feature gets us back to how powerful we were gameplay-wise from Cold War a couple of months ago. Now, if you guys guys ask me, what does Vanguard Zombies really need to thrive? And that's why I made a dedicated Zombies video tonight, because there's a lot to talk about with this. I think what it really needs is just time. Time that they unfortunately didn't have, and because it released in the way that it did, it's kind of like a downward spiral, like Black Ops 4, like World War II, where games released in unfinished states, it painted a really bad picture for the game, for the studio, it stained a lot of the reputation for the whole DLC season, and left a bad taste in people's mouths, to the point where no matter what they add in during the DLC cycle, people either aren't interested, already moved on, don't care. I mean, look at Black Ops 4, right, which is being praised so much now. That game had all the pieces to the puzzle, but the puzzle just wasn't complete when it needed to be when the game first came out. And launch impressions, as you guys know, are very important, because if launch impressions aren't good, it doesn't matter what the hell they add later on, right? People could already be done with the game. And if they want to do something like Anfang, where it's experimental, I think now would have been the best time to do it, when it's not even their Call of Duty, when they're collaborating with another studio on a Zombies iteration. Now's time to experiment, not when it's their year, not when it's, you know, Black Ops 6 or whatever the game's gonna be. But you know what, when you have the same toxic people over and over again, nostalgia baiting, talking about BO3, it's like, yeah, I love BO3, talk all you want about it, but when you criticize every new thing because it's not something that you miss, that's not helping anybody, that's not bringing anything in a new direction, and that's not helping any developer understand what the community really wants. People could say that, oh, the Black Ops 3 formula was perfect, why did they move away from it? Well, look, devs get tired too of the same mold, they want to change things up. I think everybody knows that they stuck with round-based forever, it probably wouldn't last, and they have to revitalize the mode, they have to innovate. That's just the way game development works. But look, Zombies just needs to set off every ounce of the past and go in a new direction, right? Yeah, bring round-based back whenever they feel like it, sure, but it's got to shut off the same old formula and the same old things that I think were actually hurting the mode, and Cold War already started doing that, and Vanguard was going to continue that mission, but obviously couldn't because of a lack of time. That should be really well aware for everybody right now, but you just know the main quest, whenever it does release, is going to end up getting flack anyway, right? I already have a feeling that once the main Easter egg releases, it might just be, oh, do all the objectives and then do like 2 extra steps and maybe boss fight, then done. People are going to complain anyway if it's going to be like a 2-3 hour hunt and not a week-long hunt like Revelations. People are going to bitch and moan. You know, it doesn't matter what the main quest is like, how good the cinematic is or the boss fights, people are going to complain. So if anything, I'm looking forward to what they have in store for us, right? I think in terms of the community, I don't have much hope for them, but in terms of, you know, me personally, I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready to dive into the rest of the story, play some new experiences. I'm all game for it. But I'll remind you again, the only people that really care about long Easter egg hunts are people that for some reason just care about Easter egg hunts and only care about those times of the year, even though it's what, you know, maybe 4 to 5 times tops whenever it's a zombie season. Or it's people that want to thrive off super chats for as long as they possibly can while hunting for an Easter egg, right? Once the Easter egg is solved, nobody cares about how long the hunt took. It's like, yeah, go do the Easter egg, replay it as many times as you want. You're not going to be thinking at the back of your mind, oh, how long did this quest take to solve when the map first came out? Nobody cares about that after a day. So it's silly that that's even an argument as to why a map is quote-unquote bad because the Easter egg got solved in 2 hours. If somebody's cheating, yeah, it's frustrating, right? And that sucks. I totally get it. But when it's a good map with a good quest that just happened to be catering to some of the newer players and to casuals, it's like, yeah, that's just the gaming industry. That's the way that publishers and even higher ups at development studios structure their games now, right? To cater to new people, not just the hardcores. There's a way to not spit in the faces of the hardcores and the OGs while also catering to casuals at the same time. I think Cold War did that perfectly. But last and definitely not least, right? We talked about COD 2023 in a previous video. New images apparently surfaced of what looks like very early stages of the game's development, and it's unclear if the images are legit or not. I'm gonna say right now they're probably not. They're very likely early concept art images of Black Ops Cold War, but in the case that it is for COD 2023, there were of course images talking about bringing zombies back to the roots, which like I said before, Cold War already did that anyway in a number of different ways. I think that was in reference to bringing us back to the old perk system and other things that Black Ops 4 had kind of strayed away from. There was an image here of faction callings with Requiem, Omega, and other icons that we obviously know of in Cold War Zombies. So that's why I'm like, yeah, this is probably an early stage of Black Ops Cold War Zombies before Die Maschine was complete. But if this is the case, right, and it's for Cold War, does that mean faction callings got scrapped twice? Because that was a feature that of course got cut in Black Ops 4, replaced with contracts. Maybe they had plans to bring this back somehow for Cold War and then also change their mind on that. I'm not sure, but I think it's hilarious hilarious that faction callings just isn't it and hasn't been it for the developers. They're just like, nope, we're just walking away from that and we're not going to talk about that anymore, which to me is hilarious. But with that being said, if this is for COD 2023, then I think Zombies fans should be happy that round base is very likely coming back. Maybe not in Vanguard, but in COD 2023 alongside whatever other experimental mode they want to bring out, whether it's a new version of Outbreak, whether it's something new entirely, we'll just have to wait and see. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. If you guys want the best up-to-date storyline video for Black Ops Cold War Zombies as we transition into the plot for Vanguard Zombies, I have a video about that linked down below. It's really well edited and really well scripted for you guys out there that may not know what's going on, or maybe are a bit confused about what did happen after Cold War ended and how it kind of transitioned us into this prequel with Vanguard. Let me know what you guys think down below about 115 Day coming up. What are you guys expecting for Season 1 Reloaded? And what other zombie surprises do you hope to see? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.